Commander Rebecca Morrison stood in the observation deck of the USS Sentinel, humanity's pride stationed near Mars' orbit. Her coffee had gone cold an hour ago, but she couldn't look away from the tactical display. 317 hostile contacts had just entered the solar system, emerging from quantum slipspace near Jupiter's orbit. "Ma'am, we're receiving their broadcast," Lieutenant Jake Patterson announced, his voice tight with tension. The holoprojector flickered to life, revealing a creature that defied easy description. 6 eyes arranged in a triangle, mandibles that clicked with each syllable, and a chitinous exoskeleton that gleamed purple under the ship's lights. "Humans of Earth," the translation matrix converted its speech into something comprehensible, "you are hereby notified of your assimilation into the Krell Collective. Surrender is your only option. We have conquered 463 species across this galaxy. You are primitives who have barely left your home system. Submit, or be exterminated." Rebecca felt her jaw clench. The Krell had made a critical error. They had studied humanity's public broadcasts, our entertainment, our diplomatic overtures to the cosmos. What they hadn't studied were the classified files buried beneath 3 miles of lunar regolith. "Lieutenant Patterson, open a channel to Earth Defense Command. Authorization Morrison Tango 77 Alpha. Channel open, Commander. This is Morrison. Execute Protocol Nightfall. Authorization confirmed. God help us all." 3 seconds of silence followed. Then Admiral Marcus Webb's weathered face appeared on screen. "Rebecca, are you certain?" "They gave us an ultimatum, sir. 317 warships against our 12 defense platforms." "I'm certain." Webb nodded slowly. "Protocol Nightfall is authorized. May history forgive us for what we built." The Krell Armada began its advance, moving with the confidence of conquerors who had never known defeat. Their weapons could glass planets. Their shields had withstood nuclear bombardment. Their warriors had crushed civilizations that had reached for the stars 1,000 years before humans discovered fire. But the Krell had never encountered a species quite like humanity. A species that looked at the vastness of space and saw not wonder, but a battlefield. A species that had spent 2 centuries preparing for this exact moment, building weapons in secret, hiding them in plain sight. On Earth, in a facility that officially didn't exist beneath Colorado, Dr. Michael Rodriguez entered the final authorization code. Around the solar system, machines older than some civilizations came online. Satellites that governments had launched under the guise of scientific research began to hum with power that could crack moons. "Krell vessels are approaching Mars orbit," Patterson reported. "They're charging weapons." Rebecca watched the display with eerie calm. "How long until they're in range?" "4 minutes, ma'am. Then they have 4 minutes to live." The first Krell ship exploded without warning. Then another. And another. The alien commander's confusion was evident as his fleet began to disintegrate around him. They couldn't detect the weapons firing at them. Their sensors showed nothing. No missiles. No energy beams. Nothing. What the Krell couldn't understand, was that humanity had weaponized quantum entanglement itself. Dr. Emily Richardson had cracked it 15 years ago, creating paired particles that could deliver devastating kinetic energy instantaneously across any distance. No travel time. No warning. No defense. The Krell fleet tried to retreat, but retreat required time. The quantum weapons didn't. Every ship that had entered the solar system had been tagged the moment they emerged. Paired particles attached to their hulls, invisible and undetectable. Commander Rebecca Morrison watched as 317 contacts became 200. Then 100. Then 50. The alien commander's face reappeared on screen, his confidence replaced by something humans recognized well, fear. "What manner of weapons are these?" he demanded. "No species has ever." His transmission cut off as his flagship joined the expanding debris field. 20 contacts remained. Then 10. Then 3. Then none. Total elapsed time, 11 minutes. Rebecca sat down heavily, suddenly aware that her hands were shaking. Patterson turned to her, his face pale. "Commander, they never even reached Mars." "No," she agreed quietly. "They didn't." Admiral Webb's face reappeared. "Commander Morrison, Earth Defense Command is receiving distress signals from across this sector of the galaxy. Apparently, the Krell were broadcasting their glorious conquest live to their entire empire." Rebecca felt a cold smile cross her face. So the whole galaxy just watched humanity erase their invincible Armada in 11 minutes. Every species they've ever conquered, every civilization that feared them, every empire that paid tribute to avoid their wrath. They all just watched the Krell die before reaching Mars. In the weeks that followed, Earth received 347 communications from various species. Some offered trade. Some offered alliance. Some simply asked a single question: how? Humanity's answer was always the same: we're not the prey you thought we were. We're not the primitives who just left our home world. We're the species that looked at the darkness between stars and decided to put weapons there, just in case something looked back. The Krell collective crumbled within a year. Their subject species rose up, emboldened by the knowledge that their conquerors could bleed. The galaxy learned a valuable lesson that day near Mars' orbit. Humanity hadn't reached for the stars carrying hopes of peace and unity. We'd reached for them carrying the biggest guns we could build, because we understood something fundamental about the universe: hope was wonderful, but firepower was better. Commander Rebecca Morrison kept a piece of Krell hull plating on her desk after that day. Not as a trophy, but as a reminder. The aliens had come expecting to find frightened primitives. Instead, they found humans. And they never even reached Mars.